Hello and welcome to my Star Arts and Crafts. I'm Libby and today I'll be showing you 3 cards using the August 2021 Make Yourself at Home Hero Arts card kit from Joann's. Today I'll be using the August Make Yourself at Home Hero Arts card kit from Joann's. And I know it's not August anymore, but I didn't receive the kit till just recently, so I'm doing it now. Anyway, in the kit you get 4 5.5 by 8.5 sheets of vellum, kiwi cardstock, papaya cardstock, and mist cardstock. These are really great for creating card bases. They are the perfect size and they're really thick as well. And then you also get a blending brush. As you can see, I have already used this because it has blue ink on it. And then you also get a 4x6 Need a Hand clear stamp set, and I have used those as well. And the coordinating frame cuts. And then you get the wave stencil, and this is 5 1/4 by 6.5. And then you get creamsicle reactive ink, key lime ink, pool party ink, and blue Hawaii ink. And then you also get a mini jar of white hero paste. And I will open it up and show you what it looks like. For the first background, I will be using Pool Party, Blue Raspberry, and Blue Hawaii reactive inks. And the Blue Hawaii reactive ink is not in the kit. It was in the July kit. But you don't have to use the Blue Raspberry ink. I just used it because I want an extra color, but it would look totally fine without the Blue Raspberry as well. So I'm just blending those together, the darkest on the bottom and the lightest on the top, and I am blending that through the stencil. For my next background, I will also be using the stencil from the kit, and I did take some of the Pool Party ink and I put that onto my glass mat. And then I took some of the white stencil paste and I mixed it with that until I had a nice colorful stencil paste. And then I smeared that into random spots through my stencil. And then I took the regular white stencil paste and I blended that with the blue stencil paste. And then I did take this stencil up and I washed it after every time I used it. So I also washed it after I used it with the color so I wouldn't mix the two. For my final background, I will be using the stencil paste again, but this time I will not be using the stencil, and I'm going to take the Key Lime Fizz and the Pool Party ink from the kit, and I'm going to mix it with the stencil paste. I did set down 3 different things, but I only used 2. And then this just creates some texture and a focal point for my image. I did try to show as much as I could, but my palette knife did break in the middle of it. Next, I will be using the octopus stamp from the stamp set and some black ink, and I'm going to stamp that onto a piece of white cardstock. It didn't stamp super well this first time, and it took me a minute to get it to stamp correctly, but I did eventually get it to stamp correctly. Next, I've taken the coordinating die for the octopus, and I cut that out of some white cardstock. And then I took some removable adhesive and I added it to the back of that page and lined it up with my octopus. Sorry, my hair does get in the way a little bit throughout this clip. But then I took some creamsicle ink and I did wash off my blending brush. And then I applied that over the whole octopus. You do have to just be careful because some of the black ink does smear a little bit as you blend, but I think this one turned out okay. And then I took off the mask and I lined up my coordinating die and cut that out. I will then stamp some images, so I took the little fishies from the stamp set and I'm stamping them in blue Hawaii ink. And then I took the little coral and the kelp and I stamped that out a few times, and I used various ink colors like Pool Party, Key Lime Fizz, and Creamsicle. Next, I took some tacky glue and I added that to the back of my octopus, and then I'm placing that up the top. I did die cut out my coral and my seaweed, and then I will place that at the bottom of my card. This does just create a little bit more interest. And then when I'm done, I will trim all of the excess off of the bottom and the sides. Next, I will stamp the sentiment that says, "Need a hand, I'm here for you," below the octopus, and I'm going to stamp that with black ink. Then I die cut a stitch circle out with Miss Cardstock, and I did use a smaller one than I meant to, but I did end up showing this one, and I know the stitch circle die is not in there, but I did take some pool ink and I blended around that. Next, I am stamping the sentiment that says, "Just floating by to say hello," on a piece of vellum, and I'm stamping that with clear embossing ink, and then I will heat set that with silver powder. Next, I'm using some tacky glue and some regular liquid glue to attach my circle die cut onto my panel because it is textured. And then I am gluing on my octopus that I did color and cut, and then I will also attach my vellum sentiment. Now I'm taking the larger of the two jellyfish and I'm stamping that on some regular white scrap cardstock with some black ink. And then I will use the coordinating die to cut that out. Next, I'm coloring the jellyfish with some light gray and some light pink markers. And then I am blending that out with the blender. I'll then add some darker pink to the bottom of the jellyfish. Next, I will stamp the same sentiment as last time with some Hero Arts embossing and watermark ink, and then I will heat set that with silver embossing powder. Next, I'm going to use some tacky glue and I will add some onto the back of the jellyfish, and then I'm going to place the jellyfish on the left side of where I use the texture paste. So this is how the final cards turned out, and I think they turned out really good and really cute. This one I added to a white card base, this one to a kiwi card base, and then the next one to a mist card base. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and come back next Tuesday. Have a great day. See you soon.